I'm standing here with an incredible human being. I mean, very educated, incredible musician. And he's again, what do you have to dance floor? Hey, Mr. Zakes Bantwini, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Why do you think it's so important for people to attend events such as Sunday Circle?
I think what is most important is the platform that is DJs will obviously has created here. It's a platform of dialogue, which is something that I think we need, especially as African people, because we don't have dialogue where we are able to share economics, our political ideas, our creative ideas. We don't have that. I do it on my own corner. Other people are doing it on their own corner. You only get to find out only when I'm PRing whatever that I want to do. So we don't get to just sit down and just bounce ideas.
Sunday Circle, put your hands together for Zakes Bantwini.
Hey, yes, my son, and I'm here to speak. Ikamala Zakele Matita. Zakele Matita, but a lot of people don't care about that guy. Because Zakele Matita, Mfano Ramashinji, who was just born in 1981, May 26, and no one knows his story. No one knows his story, but people love Zakes Bantwini. They appreciate Zakes Bantwini. They take photos with Zakes Bantwini. I actually enjoy living a Zakes Bantwini life than living Zakele Matita's life. Because when I'm introduced and someone says, then Zakele Matita is joining us, no one screams. But immediately when they say, Zakes Bantwini is here, then I understand. This particular fame and the appreciation is not for me. It's for Zakes Bantwini. It's not for Zakele Matita. Now, how do I match these two? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. Like a lot of people do. But we tend to marry and divorce fame when it suits us. When type lords are lucky, I'm like, yo, I hate being famous. But when we are jumping the queue, I love being famous. Sbusiso is a friend of mine. I don't have a lot of friends in the industry. I don't know Sbusiso before the industry. But how we get to know each other through the industry was mutual respect. And because both of us, we were in a mission, and our mission was to change perception around the art and musicians. That we die paupers, we are irresponsible, we do not know anything. Well, they prove it sometimes. The politicians, they will call us right at the end after they've discussed everything for us to come and sing. And all those deals are signed. So we were never part of the conversation. We never sit in a boardroom and have a conversation. Even marketing managers, which are here working for big companies, they only call us for activations. Call us to endorse. Call us to drive a certain narrative that we were never part of. Because that's how they see us. It's just mouthpiece, like a loud hailer. Whatever that we thought about in the boardroom, comes and say it on Twitter. Hey, this is what. And I don't blame anybody. I also blame the artists themselves. Sosbu says to me, come Zakes, I want you to speak. And I said to him, thank you, Sbu, for giving me an opportunity, because we're going to change the perception around musicians again. It is the reason why I always say I went to school, even when the teacher did not ask me if I'm a learned musician or not. I find it that it has to be, important for me to say that. Did you know, as a learned musician, even though the question did not say, so Zakes, so the question might be, Zakes, on this new album, so how many songs do we have? And I'd be like, as a learned musician, you know, because I want to intimidate people, and because I want to claim the space that I'm in. That is not just the space that I decided to be here. There's a foyer and a desk and an ink and an assignment and everything else for me to be here, So you must understand that it's not like any other artist. You're not interviewing another artist here. We are interviewing a learned artist. So you need to understand. So when you are qualified to be on radio, I'm qualified to be a musician. You better understand. That's the reason why one always has to drive the importance of education. Because we want to tell everybody else, about the township and who are following us, and telling them that it's not a shortcut. Go to school because you'll not be the same as the other musician. You'll be different. People will ask you, why do you are still relevant? Right now, clap your hands. This year is 8 years old. Wasting my time, this year is 8 years old. Ghetto you've just played is 4 years old. But I'm still here. After 8 years with only 2 albums. And then someone will ask me, why? Why are you still relevant? And tell them, even though it's not education, but I'll say it's education. Because I want you to know the value of education. So that's simple. Even though sometimes I use it to intimidate other musicians, because I know musicians don't want to go to school. I do it sometimes. Even though sometimes I do it to intimidate you, because when you find my song, I don't want you to say my song is bad, because you think that because Zakes is learned, maybe my ear is not good. So I intimidate. So that's my plan. Now, it is a perception that we are trying to change about the art and the musician. And we are creating a narrative. And it's the reason why myself and Sbu are friends. I don't know, once we get into a destination where we've been able to change the perception, if we're still going to be friends. But I think that's the conversation that we always talk about. So today he says, come and speak. A year ago, I was invited to come and speak into a congregation, Kwamashu Christian Center. I said there, I am, because I don't want to be quoted incorrect, I don't want to say I'm not Christian, but I'm African. So why I'm saying I'm African more, because I hear there's a lot of debate around Christianity. If no, you're not Christian. So because I don't want to be in that particular debate, let me rather say I'm African. Because with Africans, would you praise God, you believe in God, and also you can also do your African rituals. So it's safer to say I'm African. And then I did my whole narrative and whatever that I wanted to talk about. But when Sbu asked me to come today to speak, one thing that I wanted to talk about the power of apartheid. Because I do not think that we have an idea how powerful apartheid was. And I think even white people don't even know how powerful apartheid was. Now, I'm not talking apartheid in terms of black and white here. I'm talking about its system and how it controls and still rules and controls now. After so many years, we thought that we've dealt with it. In 1812, a gentleman called Willie Lynch, he's invited in the state. He's a consultant. I think he was a psychologist. He was talking about making a slave. At that time, all the farmers in America had a problem that all this slave that they brought from Africa, they were starting to sleep with their wives. You know, they were no longer doing what they were supposed to do. So they kept on hanging them. So that's why people would say people were being lynched. The lynch is taken from the second name of this guy called Willie Lynch. So hence lynched. It's like I'm called a Zulu because of Shaka Zulu. I'm a Ngoni, but now I'm saying I'm a Zulu because of Shaka Zulu. So when Lynch comes, he talks about how important it is for them because they are losing stock. Stock then were human beings. Stock that you're talking about. He says, you guys are losing stock. When you're hanging your stock, yeah, you know, when you're hanging your stock, you know, then your service, then you don't have workers, and then your service, you know, so you no longer produce what you are supposed to. So I've come up with a system that will help you, you know, that you don't have to deal with these issues ever again. And if you do my method for just 1 year, and correctly, it can live for 300 years. That was 1812. 300 years, I think, ended in 2012. So if they did it for only just 1 year, but it did not happen for just 1 year. So it means 2 years is how many? 610. 44. 24. Just 3 years is how much? 910. Each and every one of us here. Excuse me. When we grew up, Kwamashu back then, I don't know guys English, but I mean I'm a self-taught English person, so there are words that I don't know. Yini intwala? What is that? Lice. Lice is in like rice. Lice. But for L. Okay. If you remember, my brother, yeah. If you remember when you grew up, and I know a lot of people know this, it grew up in the 80s. We used to have these lice just calling. Do you remember? And right now I'm told, I'm told. If you remember when they were introducing margarine Rama. You remember? We were giving Rama like nationally. I know this thing because I've researched. Everyone. That's why we call it Rama. That's why in margarine we call it Rama. There's this soup that we used to drink when we were young. I'm after effect that soup was shrinking our mind because we were not supposed to think bigger. We were not supposed to be clever. Those soup, I wish I was. But at least today when you walk out there, you know that the musician told you that, so you respect the musician. So your perception around musician is going to change from today onwards. My brother, tell me if I need to go rather than to play. Please. You're really interrupting me, guys. You know, it's like now I'm after the awards. You know when you're taking the awards, I want to take, and then they start playing, saying to you should go. So please, yeah, guys, can I? So which every input there's an output, right? Every input there's an output. And obviously the input of apartheid brought about chaos in African. Listen, we were so organized. We were so organized. Those who did not want to have only one partner would say, "Ibanestembo." We were so organized. We did not have what you call a child-headed household. Because ingane, gogo. But today, our own government is giving money to young kids to look after themselves. Our own. We never used to. Now I'm saying nobody knows how the damage that the apartheid did to and from an oppressor to those who've been oppressed. We don't know. Now we still need to check and understand that for us to relearn all this particular system, what is it that we need to do? Probably our education needs to change in the township. Probably our syllabus must not be the same as the one, because this is what we are dealing with. Probably we need to tailor-make a syllabus that speaks to an African child that if I want to breed a doctor, I want to breed a professional musician, an engineer, an astronaut from the township, what are the subjects that I'm going to teach in this community? That we give birth to an astronaut into a system that gives you an artisan. With those words, I want to say thank you very much. My name is Zakes Bantwini.